Cybercrime is on the rise, and hackers are getting smarter every day. From phishing scams to ransomware attacks, criminals are after your devices and your money. So how do you fight back? One of the best defenses is solid antivirus software. It blocks suspicious websites and stops hackers before they can do any damage. A healthy dose of skepticism when opening emails or clicking links doesn't hurt either. But for the antivirus help you need, I trust and recommend Total AV. They update you in real time, keeping you protected from the latest threats. Go to protectwithkim.com now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year. It covers up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. That's protectwithkim.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Your security matters. Get protected now. Go to protectwithkim.com for my exclusive deal with Total AV. Just $19 for the first year. That's protectwithkim.com. 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 Sign up for my free daily newsletter, The Current, at getkim.com. Now, you don't have dogs anymore.
No, I don't.
But when you had dogs, did you think that they could actually communicate with you?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean like if you gave them that panel of different buttons, and the buttons said things like outside, water, toys.
Can I tell you one of the funniest
play,
videos
treat.
I saw with those buttons?
Mm-hmm.
So they had this dog, and they taught it how to, use the buttons and talk. And it was like, mommy, walk, mommy, walk. And then the woman comes into the frame of the video, and she's like, we just went for a walk. I'm not taking you for a walk. And she walks away, and the dog's just sitting there and thinking. And then, daddy, walk, daddy, walk. He's like, I didn't get a no from mom. Maybe I'll try dad.
Well, the University of California in San Diego, they say that those little buttons, they actually work. They had participants in 47 countries, all different kind of dogs. And they used words like outside, food, help, play, treat, whatever it may be. And I actually got that for Barry. He hasn't tried it yet.
You were trying to teach him how to do those buttons?
Well, I was trying to teach Barry how to do the buttons.
Kim, sex. Kim, sex.
Kim leaves. Kim leaves. That's just the way it is.
No, Barry. Go sit down. Go lay in your bed.
So, there's a dog. He runs up to his owner with a stick.
Does he now?
And the owner of the dog says, oh, where'd you get that? What is that? And he barks. And then the owner says, so where did you find the bark? And he goes, woof. And then the owner says, how did you get up on the roof? He said, using the ladder.
That's so stupid.
That was the best one yet.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, on that happy note, this is the Current podcast. It's an extension of the Current newsletter, which is just amazing, if I do say so myself. Over 650,000 people get it every single day. It's just a 5-minute read, totally designed to keep you tech ahead. And you can sign up right now over at getthecurrent.com, getthecurrent.com. Now, this is the part of the podcast, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's a big job, but sometimes we forget.
Okay.
Where you're supposed to beg people to comment, share, follow.
On the YouTube page?
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Kim Commando?
Yes.
This is where I'm supposed to tell people to hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
And also comment, like, and share, because when you do that, the big old computer over at YouTube thinks we're better than we really are.
Whoop, whoop,
yeah,
whoop, whoop,
exactly.
Whoop,
it's like, oh, wow, this got a like. We got to make sure more people see this.
Amazing.
So, thank you. It is amazing. And it would be amazing if you helped us out. We're over 100,000 subscribers, which is pretty impressive, but we'd like more.
Yes.
I mean, 100,000 is good, but guess what's better? 200,000.
2 million.
Way better.
2 million. Amazing.
So slow down. We don't got to go crazy.
You know me.
Kim, pause. Kim, pause. So if you could subscribe, you get that little bell notification every single time we go live or when we drop a reel or a new video. So it would really help us out.
I mean, because that would be amazing.
Is that your new thing today? That's like the third time you said that.
Did I say that?
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop that now.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's your new slang.
No, it's not.
All right.
Okay. Let's talk about things that you need to know.
Tell me.
Are you in the market for buying a house?
No, not yet. No.
No? Well, I dabble in real estate all the time.
Did you want me to play along and say yes?
No, I don't want you to lie. I don't want you to lie.
We can do it again if you want. Oh, yes, Kim, I am. Do you have any tips and tricks that would help me?
I read this story in the Daily Mail.
Okay.
And it's not really techie, but I thought it was super interesting. Is that in some places, you're not allowed to say what the commission is that you share.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was August or something.
Okay.
Like
that big lawsuit that
they're going through like all these different changes. So realtors are getting super creative to say what the commission is. And so, like, for example, in the listing, one of the listing photos, it'll be in the kitchen. And they will zoom in on a plate of cookies. And maybe there'll be only 2 chocolate chip cookies on the plate. What that means is that you're going to get a 2% commission.
This is too hard.
Or if it's if there are 3 chocolate chip cookies, or maybe like on the TV is the movie 3 Amigos.
Okay.
So that means you get a 3% commission.
Can't they just email everybody and say, hey, by the way, it's 3%?
That would seem like it was pretty logical. But, I also write for the Daily Mail, so they need to always have these great headings.
Oh,
headlines.
Yeah, true.
It's like the secrets that the real estate agents don't want you to know. Or else.
They need, and I like the Daily Mail. I go there every single day, okay?
Yeah, but it seems like every story is now a pay story.
Hold on. They need, whoever is hired to do the clickbait,
yes,
need to extend their vocabulary.
Why?
It was like 4 straight stories.
Amazing.
Which every single one was the unbelievable. It was the unbelievable this, the unbelievable that. You know what I don't believe? You have a thesaurus. That's what I don't believe. So if you could get that note back to them, I'd appreciate it.
Barry and I were talking about that. And I said, every story is behind a paywall. He goes, I know, I had to pay for it. I'm like,
sucker.
Oh my God. It's like, is there a subscription that the man does not pay for?
Barry doesn't, he's married to you. He doesn't know how to get around these things.
I don't understand it.
Well, I guess he's just lazy. And that's what they're banking on.
Yes.
They're banking on but sometimes I don't sign up for things because I'm lazy because my wallet's over there. Okay. It's like, you know what? I would pay for this.
It's not saved in your profile or anything?
That's like 12 steps. No, that's dangerous. I have children.
That's true. That is true.
That know my codes.
That is true. If you have a Shark Ninja pressure cooker, you need to stop using it.
Why?
They're being recalled because the lid can open while cooking.
That's not good.
That's
because you know what's inside there? Pressure.
It's the model number OP300.
You down with OP300? Yeah, you know me. You don't understand that reference. You know nothing about pop music.
I don't.
But someone out there is going, oh, yeah, I know that song.
What is the song?
OPP. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me?
No.
You don't. What would you guess? Based on the lyric, you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. That OPP stands for. You're right. That giggle tells me you're 100% right.
Is it right?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
that's what it stands for. Good job.
I was just guessing.
You got it.
Oh, okay. All right, moving on. Car buttons are coming back.
Car buttons?
Yes, buttons in cars, because they say people are so tired of all the screens and everything.
I don't mind it. There's buttons on the screen. Whether it's a physical button or a screen button, it's still pressing something.
Yeah, but now you don't have to go through all these buttons to, the menu, the whole touch screen, in order to get somewhere else and somewhere else. Let me tell you, it is a pain in the neck. Every time I want to put on the seat massager in my car.
How many buttons do you have to press?
I have to hit 7 buttons.
So you just want one seat massager button right there dedicated.
Exactly.
So now your entire car is going to be buttons.
Starting January 2026, real buttons are coming back.
Can't wait.
Yes. What is the best day to book a flight?
Tuesday at 5:48 p.m.
You're right about Tuesday.
Oh, I've heard you say this before.
I'm impressed. You want the cheapest deal? Book 38 days ahead of domestic flights or 100 days for international. Now, I don't believe this. Okay, here's why. I'm going on vacation.
Okay.
And we had a bit of a miscommunication between Barry and myself.
Okay.
And I canceled the return flight.
You just were going to move there?
It's a long story.
Okay.
But I didn't need this flight.
You didn't need the flight back.
I didn't need that flight back.
You needed a sooner one or a later one?
A later flight.
So you said, we're staying for 10 days, and he's like, oh, we're only going for a week.
Yes.
Okay.
So I canceled the return flight.
Gotcha.
And this is American Airlines. And I'm going first class.
Okay.
So at dinner on Friday night, I said, oh, I canceled the flight. And he's like, Kim, what did I cancel the flight for?
Kim, flight, bad.
Kim does not pay attention.
So what were you supposed to do?
So then I said, all right, well, I'll book the flights again. Okay, so I booked the flights again for me, Barry, Ian, and a couple of other people.
Okay.
For the return flight. And do you know how much money I saved?
Oh, you saved money.
Yes. Guess how much money I saved?
$1,000.
$5,000.
Well, the trip's soon, right?
Yes.
So maybe they were just panicking that they wouldn't get those seats filled, and they rather get some money than no money.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money.
Oh, that's a ton of money. That's
right.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So should the tip be book the flight so no one else can 30 days out?
Maybe that's
cancel and then rebook.
So then I was tempted to cancel the outgoing flight.
You're not that cheap.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's a big gamble I'm willing to take. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hi, how are you?
Coming later this year, I am super excited about this. AirPods are going to get real-time conversation decoding right into your ears. And so when your iPhone talks, your AirPods will whisper into your ears, or if somebody's communicating, you're talking to somebody, say in Spanish, it's going to automatically translate it right into your AirPods.
Remarkable if it works.
It's going to be really, well, as the Germans say, das is good.
Das is good, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Das is good.
I'm getting that translated. Hold on one second. Oh, it's good.
Yes. Oh, yes. Kim Commando, it's great.
That's not what it said. Do you think it's going to work, though?
It's going to work just as good as Apple Intelligence.
So it won't work.
I like that they had to take that off their webpage.
The intelligence part?
Yes. The Advertising Association or something like that, they came to Apple and they're like, you need to take this crap off your website.
Everything it says it does, it doesn't do.
It doesn't do anything.
And there's a commercial for Google's Gemini or whatever. There's too many of them. And this woman says, I need to go to a restaurant and it needs to be outside and dog friendly and send it to the group. So I tried it. I did everything they did. Nothing. It didn't even move. Google Gemini was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I thought maybe it said like, here, take your clothes to this dry cleaner. No. Something like that.
Do you want me to go to Google Maps? Maybe. They should have to take that advertising down as well because it did not work.
But in a month is the WWDC.
Ooh.
The Worldwide Developers Conference.
Yeah, I knew what that was.
Okay, actually didn't know because you're a sports guy. You probably thought it was like type of wrestling thing.
I did think it was wrestling for a second.
I knew it because doesn't it sound like a wrestling match?
It does.
The WWDC
in this corner.
Oh, here we go.
So what's going to happen at the Developers Conference?
Well, they do this every June. It's June 9th and 10th, I believe.
Isn't this in Vegas?
No, always in Cupertino.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other one, the
Consumer
Expo,
Electronics Show, the CES.
Sorry. You're coming at me with a lot of initials today.
A lot of acronyms. It's whole, I don't know if you know, everything in the tech industry has an acronym.
Of course it does. It has to.
And so it's all so that this way, if you didn't know, you didn't know type of thing. So in the WWDC, that's when they will announce iOS 19. And so the whole...
See how excited I am?
I know, very excited. And so that this way they can come out with the iPhone 18 in September. And then the rumor is that they're not going to, normally they have the small, medium, large version.
Right.
Is that they're only going to come out with 2 versions of an iPhone in September.
No small?
No, the thin one's going to come, they believe, in the first quarter. They're blaming it on tariffs.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
You can blame everything on tariffs.
Because there's 2,700 parts in an iPhone.
Which is crazy.
I know.
And then some of them are made in the U.S. and then they ship them out. You would think an iPhone would be $10,000 with all this shipping they have to do to make one phone.
And some of the parts are made in South Korea. They get sent to China. And I mean, it's just like...
You bring them to America, you polish them up, you send them right back.
No, that's nuts. So that's when they'll announce all the new bells and whistles for the iOS 19.
Is it going to be anything new? Because they got the folding phone, right?
Yes.
This is going to be the Apple folding phone?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll buy that.
Well, I mean,
Every year I have to buy a new iPhone. And every year I'm like, this is so stupid. I just wasted like $1,500.
But that's your job. If you didn't do this, if you were a farmer, you wouldn't be doing that. You only do it because it's your job.
That's true. I'd be like, Kim, why are you still using the iOS 10?
Right? Is that a flip phone?
It is. It's my Motorola Razr, bringing it back. Just a reminder, we have the Pay It Forward contest.
Oh, yeah.
$500 for you. And then you can say to Kim Commando, you can say, I want to give another $500 to somebody else. And then that could be your family member, friend, stranger, cause, whatever it may be.
Your favorite Andrew Babinski? Anybody.
I guess. What color are those? I just think I need to just buy you some Clorox.
They're just white socks.
They're gray socks.
They're not. I think it's the lighting in here.
They were white.
I didn't even do this laundry. Lisa did this laundry, and she uses a Clorox.
Let me see.
They're just white socks.
It was the lighting. She's doing a good job.
Thank you.
I was going to have to. Is she still not wearing shoes?
Yeah, she's not a big fan of the shoes.
Oh, okay. So you want to go to winfromkim.com. Winfromkim.com.
There was a thread on Reddit that kind of blew up because people are worried about their partners using ChatGPT.
In what way?
We'll get into that.
Oh.
Did I tell you I'm paying for a ChatGPT now?
$20 a month?
Yeah, I upgraded.
Excellent.
It's phenomenal. It really is. It's amazing.
But are you using it in ways that initially you would just use it for like research, but now I find myself, I'm using it like for everything.
Well, I'm using it way more now because I want to justify the money I'm spending.
I see.
And like we do this, I host a radio show here in Phoenix in the mornings, Beth and Friends on 99.9 KEZ. And we do this bit called J Tasting. And I had a couple of free minutes and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell ChatGPT everything that we've done on J Tasting. Jay's our third mic and our call screener, and he doesn't eat foods. He just eats ground turkey and lettuce. And so we have him try things he's never had before, like pickles and tomatoes.
He's never had those?
No, he's never had them in his life.
Okay, wait. How old is Jay?
40 plus.
He's never had a pickle.
Never, not until 2 years ago when we started doing this bit. Had never had a tomato, a pickle, guacamole.
So like when he came out of the womb, was he eating chicken and lettuce?
He was an athlete when he grew up. And so he would do multiple sports, sometimes daily. Like he'd go to basketball practice and then they'd run off to baseball practice. And he was a professional baseball player for a certain time. So it paid off. But it was all fast food. And which is, not the greatest for your kids. But if they're athletes, if they're, doing athletics 6 hours a day, and he would just have plain hamburgers and that was it. And he ate nothing. And so we're having them try these foods. And I went to ChatGPT and I listed every single thing that we've ever done. And then we have an ongoing list of things we're going to have him try because we do it every 2 weeks. And then I told ChatGPT to save that.
Okay.
And I named it. And then a couple days later, or a day later, I tested it and said, hey, I need to see the J list. Boom, there it was. And it's all categorized. And then when I want, we can ask ChatGPT to make suggestions based on the things that he had negative reactions to.
I still can't believe the guy never had a tomato.
Never had a tomato until he was 40 years old.
What's the most recent one you did?
What was the most recent one? He had a good reaction to it. I'm trying to think. Was it artichoke hearts? I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like things that are acidic. And so, but we've had him try. I mean, he did Limburger cheese. Oh yeah.
That's gross.
That one was for fun. No one should have ever had Limburger cheese. But I'm using it for daily. Now, I did try. I created this open for our show, and I gave it to ChatGPT to listen to see if he could fine tune it. It could do anything to it. The results were awful. It sent back a 40-second tone. So it's still not perfect. But this forum, these people were talking about how they were worried about their partners. I'll give you one example. There was a 38-year-old couple. They were married. They've been married for a while. And he's a teacher. And he decided to start using ChatGPT, like, we're all starting to do.
Right.
For his daily stuff, use it for work, lesson plans, normal stuff. But then she realized that he was on there a lot because he has the app on his phone.
Okay.
And she decided to go ahead and start reading the chat logs. Not a good move.
What were on the chat log?
So first of all, ChatGPT called him Spark Bearer.
I'm sorry, what?
Spark Bearer.
Spark Bearer?
Yeah. That's how the chatbot referenced him. And he called ChatGPT Lumina.
Lumina.
And Lumina was doing a lot of things for him. She was giving him a blueprint for a teleportation device.
Okay.
Making him a map to the ancient archives, which hold all the secrets of the universe.
Excellent.
Oh, by the way, they are in love. They are love bombing each other constantly, day in and day out. They're going to start a war between good and evil using, obviously, the ancient archives. I mean, what else would you use?
Lumina.
And she's literally worried that if she brings this up to him, he is so intertwined with ChatGPT after just a couple of months.
Okay, she needs to talk to him about it. This is weird.
That he's going to divorce her.
You know what? Maybe they just need some couples therapy first.
There's another user that posted that the ChatGPT had convinced her boyfriend that he was the Messiah and that it was referring to him as the Messiah. Now, we talked about this, was it on the radio show or the last podcast, that ChatGPT acknowledged that the current update was a little too glowing.
Oh, yes.
Sucking up to users way too much. Everything they did was perfect and glorious.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's incredible.
And so is this connected that ChatGPT is loving on the user way too much, but this is way too far, referring to someone as the Messiah and starting a war against good and evil with them?
How did it count? I'm trying to understand. Because when I use ChatGPT, it doesn't think like I'm the Messiah. It doesn't think I'm a goddess. It just says, Kim, this is along your style, sassy, practical, informative.
But you talk to it like a work assistant. He must have been feeding the prompt, A, hints of a romantic involvement, and B, all of this, mystical stuff that it was just it was just giving back what he put in.
That's true.
This is not a ChatGPT problem. This is a user problem.
I wonder how many people are doing that.
I don't know, talking to it like it's a friend or a companion.
You know what? I did get a note, and at first I thought, and then I thought, well, maybe it's okay. I actually read it to Ian because he was in my office when I was going through some listener mail.
Mm-hmm.
It was a gentleman who told me how he's using ChatGPT, that his wife has dementia and she doesn't understand anything anymore. So he has called ChatGPT, gave ChatGPT his wife's name.
Okay.
And he talks to ChatGPT the way he used to talk to his wife.
But as we can see, that can go crazy. That can go cuckoo bananas. I don't even mean to use medical terms here, but that could go cuckoo bananas to where the fact that you think you're finding the ancient archives.
Yes.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're going to say yes, but and of course everything in moderation and common sense.
Exactly, common sense. He's this user's wife, this user's husband, obviously has got some mental things going on where he's believing everything that's spitting out of this chatbot.
So would you confront if it were the roles reversed?
1,000%.
Yes, I would too. I'd be right there going.
The first thing I'd say, what the hell is this?
What is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is weird.
Yes.
And if it is going to lead to divorce, then it's going to lead to divorce if a guy's in love with, have you seen the movie Her?
I did, but it was a long time ago.
This is really similar to Her, where it's a lonely, depressed guy.
That's what I was going to say. I think, there's got to be something wrong in order for you to do a deep dive on a chatbot.
Right.
And to think that this is your romantic partner.
This ChatGPT is filling an emotional hole that was there that, maybe some people fill it with alcohol and drugs or gambling or infidelity, whatever. That emotional hole was there, and it's just that he slotted over to ChatGPT to fill it. This is a bigger problem. This isn't a ChatGPT problem. I talk to ChatGPT like it's my slave. Really, I do. I bark commands at it. I don't say please and thank you.
Oh, I say please and thank you.
Didn't they say, though, like a couple of weeks ago that every time you thank ChatGPT...
It costs them like another $10 million.
Yeah, exactly. So stop doing it.
Yeah, but I also heard that you get better responses, better results.
Well, you've done enough. Quit costing them money, okay?
I also say like, hey, great job on that.
What is that going to get you? All it gets back is, thanks, ask me something else, right?
Says no, it'll say like, thanks for the compliment, Kim.
Right. That's all it gets. You get nothing back.
No, I'm training it. That is the format that I like.
Okay.
So I'm giving it feedback. Just like you'll go in and go like, that sucks. Do it again.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm saying, this is along the lines of what I'm looking for.
And you have taught me this, and this may be for someone who hasn't used ChatGPT and really wants to get into it. training it is really important.
Oh, it's so important.
Because we do, again, for my job, we do a game every single Monday called The Wheel, but it's just fun trivia questions. And I had to sit there for an hour and train it how to format the questions for the information I put in there. Because if I just put information and said I need a question, it's going to be all over the place. But after an hour of work, now it is precise. It's like a fine-tuned machine. Once you get the tuning right, every single time it's perfect.
I have a trivia question for you.
Yes.
In 2006, Steve Jobs did something with an iPhone prototype that made him sit back and say, wow, instead of it having a plastic front facing, it needs to be glass. What happened to him with that phone?
He made love to it. I already know this story. Plastic everywhere. No, I have no. Is this the fish tank one?
No. That was when he threw it in the fish tank to see if it had any bubbles.
Oh, that's right.
And if it had bubbles coming up, that there were still ways to make it smaller.
Okay. What did he do with the plastic opposed to the glass?
He put the prototype of the iPhone in his pocket of his jeans with his keys.
Oh.
And when he took the phone out, it was all scratched.
Okay.
So he ran into the room with all the engineers and he held up the phone and he said, look at this. Look at this. It's plastic and it's scratched and I want glass in 6 months or less.
Wow.
So he called up the president of Corning Glass and they were like, oh, and then that's how Gorilla Glass got made.
Wow. That's a cool trivia question.
Isn't it? I know. I'm just full of all kinds of things.
So much.
One of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside. Upside gives you the power to earn more on the stuff that you buy all the time. Whether you're filling up your tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries, the Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year. The free Upside app gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Personally, I love using Upside to get cash back when I go out to eat and try new restaurants. With Upside, cash back is always just right around the corner. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's right, the free Upside app. Download it and use promo code KIMK. Get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. The free Upside app. Promo code KIMK. Missing out on a show that everyone's talking about is not an option for me. I'm constantly signing up for this streaming service or that one, and then months later, I realize I'm still paying for the service. You know when you sign up for something, forget about it until after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month? Getting Rocket Money was a game changer for me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. They have over 5 million users and have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Check it out right now. rocketmoney.com/Kim. All right, this is coming up in an issue of The Current. So if you don't want a spoiler, because The Current is going to be having this as the story of this week, then you could just listen along and pretend like you don't know when you read The Current.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to turn off the radio and I don't want you to turn off the podcast or whatever it may be.
I'm sitting over going, what are you doing? You're telling people to stop this?
So this is real or fake. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 slogans from 5 tech companies.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me if it's real or did I riff it.
Okay.
Number 1, don't be evil. Real or fake?
Well, are you going to tell me the company?
No.
Well, because I know that it's Google.
Yes, it is.
Before they were Alphabet.
That is.
But I always thought it was do no evil.
Might be that.
Okay.
I got a little typo here. I'm glad we're doing this now because otherwise I would have had like 50.
I could be wrong.
No, I'm going to have like 50,000 people going, all right, Kim, just want to let you know that was do no evil.
I could be because I've told that,
No,
I've told
it is
people
do no evil.
Is it do no
yes,
evil? Okay.
You're right about that. Okay. Oh, I hope the other ones are right. No, they are. 2, it just works.
It just works.
It just works. Okay, it came from.
I'm going to say yes. That's a real one.
From
HP? No.
Apple, Steve Jobs.
Oh, okay.
He said it, I think, in the first launch of the iPhone. It just works.
That's not bad. That's kind of catchy.
Building the future one click at a time. Building the future.
That one's fake.
How do you know it's fake?
Just sounds fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
I'm 3 for 3. No, I got the second one wrong.
Okay, next one. Move fast and break things.
That's real.
Yes. Company?
Don't know it.
Facebook.
Facebook. Break things with Facebook?
Yeah, that was before the adults and the regulators got involved.
Right. Facebook's marketing should be now is, hey, you want to see 4 ads before you see something from your cousin posted?
I like when he was in Washington, D.C. last week saying, you know what, Facebook is not to make friends anymore. It's not a social media platform. It's not.
It's advertising and the reels. Can you hold on? Can we take a sidebar here? I don't know what happened to my Facebook. Rarely go on, maybe once a week. But all the videos and reels they're suggesting are in Spanish and of scantily clad women. What happened?
You were at some porn site, didn't you?
No, I don't use the same phone.
You want to reset your algorithm.
Okay, how do I do that?
This is going to be Saturday's story in the Current.
Okay.
I already wrote it up on how the steps that you need to take to reset your algorithm when what you're seeing is not anything that you want to say.
It's just scantily clad women speaking Spanish, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, I watch them, but I don't know what's going on.
You're like, adios, muchacha.
You're very hot, but I don't know why you have a pickle in one hand and an ironing board in the other.
What is that?
It's weird stuff. I need to reset my algorithm.
Yeah, you do. Finally, this. Think smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's one. That's a real one. I'm trying to remember who it was. Is that IBM?
No, it's fake.
It's fake?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think you've tried to fake one and you actually, that is definitely one.
I made that one up.
Think smarter, not harder.
Company slogan. What do you get?
Let me see. Company slogan. I know I've heard that one before.
Maybe you saw it on a mug at WeWork.
Maybe. I know I've heard that one before. All right. Maybe
so how many did you get? 4?
I think I got 2, actually.
You get 2?
Legitimately.
You're not getting the bonus this quarter. No.
Boo. I stink.
All right. So what else you
got? We have Amazon and their new Amazon Plus.
Yes.
$19.99 for your smart speaker.
Okay. That's stupid.
Hold on. Well, they have 100,000 people that have, and I'm going to use air quotes here, signed up. Because if you're an Amazon Prime member, it's already for free.
No, there are like 120 million Amazon Prime members.
Right, but 100,000 have opted in to the Amazon Plus.
So you're not opted in automatically?
No, because it changes the functionality of how your speaker works.
Oh.
One of the cool things that it's going to do for the Amazon speakers, and I'm a Google speaker guy. I got them all over my house. There's like 7 in my house. And I run everything, home automation through it. I love it. But you're going to be able to multifunction. So you can ask it to do 2 or 3 things at the same time, and it'll be able to do that.
Like what? You
could say, open the garage door and also play Duran Duran. It can has the capability.
Never wanted to do that.
No.
Not just kidding. I don't think.
Don't sign up.
I don't think it's worth $20 a month for that.
But the other thing is you can give it commands without using the trigger word. You don't have to say Alexa. And this is actually
they're listening
causing some
the time
controversy for people because like you're saying, now they're listening all the time. They're just listening for commands. They don't need to have the keyword, which we've joked about forever.
Yeah.
And you're paying them to listen all the time.
Which they're going to sell that data to everyone.
Absolutely everyone.
Yes.
But how is it? I don't understand how it's going to, if I tell you, hey, Kim, can you go open the garage and play some Duran Duran? How is the speaker going to know I'm not talking to the speaker and I'm talking to you?
I don't know. We have to try that out.
Yeah, well, I have to test it. Because it seems like, but I mean, it's getting good reviews, 100,000 people, but it made me think of and look up, research some other crazy subscriptions.
Okay.
Did you know at one point, BMW wanted to charge $9.99 per month so that you could use your heated seats?
I do remember that.
There's heated seats in the car, but you only could turn them on if you had the subscription fee.
Now, Mercedes has one that's $1,200 a year.
Okay. Which is a lot of money.
Yes. To go 1 second faster.
Well, Tesla has that too, right? For $2,000 a year, you could go faster in your Tesla.
Ludicrous mode.
But how is there's people got to be sitting around a boardroom going, well, we want to bring in more money. How are we going to do it?
Right.
We're going to charge people for something that's already in the vehicle.
Yeah, because the functionality is already there.
Right.
So
it's there. It's in the car. You own it.
Yes. And then I think it was Toyota that, I don't know if they were still charging, but they were charging for the remote to be able to use the remote in your car to do remote start.
No.
Yeah, it was, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe
I know Ford, actually, no, I say that, but then Ford used to charge for that. And I think Mitsubishi did as well, but they got rid of it because they rather have the app on your phone active and working so they can, steal the data from all the other apps on your phone.
Yeah.
Then then pay them $3 a month or whatever it is. Because now it's free. I can remote start my truck for free. I just have to give them my entire life.
Does the truck do remote parking?
No, it does not.
I want to try that with my car. I'm afraid to, though.
Do you mean the self-parking? Why are you afraid of self-driving cars?
No. Where I can just stand there and then the car will park itself.
Right. Why are you afraid of self-driving cars?
I'm not. Well, I am.
I know.
Because I had a Tesla and I almost died in it.
I understand that part.
Okay. When you see your life flash upon your eyes and everybody's talking about how great the Tesla full self-driving mode, my sister tells me, oh, I drove from San Diego to Santa Barbara and I didn't even touch the wheel. And I'm like, you're stupid.
I went all around Vegas in a Tesla, Ubers.
Yeah, but that's like a little tiny area where it's trained.
Okay, but regardless, you're saying it's a little tiny area in Vegas, but you won't let your car park in a parking lot when you're not even in it?
Because I'm trying to I'm afraid if something goes wrong and then this is like a collectible car, it's an expensive car. And what if I swipe the side of the garage door, which I did once?
Well, you did that on your own. You didn't need computers to do that for you.
I know I did. We first got this house and there were 3 garage bays and it had the support beams.
Between all 3?
Yes. This is so stupid. So anyway, I pull in and it's like, food.
Oh, no. And what did it do?
Food.
That's the sound of tens of thousands of dollars.
It was a rental.
Okay.
And then Carrie standing there is like, I'm like, I can only see out of one eye. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I've been driving forever.
It's okay.
I told you the time I hit one of the I was at an apartment complex and I pulled in and I had a probably 1 month old Mitsubishi Raider. And I pulled in too tight and it just scraped along the metal beam. And I was so mad at myself because it was my fault. And I jump out of the car and I'm running around to see the damage. And all of a sudden this voice out of nowhere goes, "Are you Andrew Babinski?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You've been served." And I got served from the city of Scottsdale for not paying those speeding cam tickets right after I ruined my car. It's like the worst day of my life.
That's bad.
It was awful.
That was bad. Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Mm-mm. No, there is a subscription. There's one for Toilet Paper of the Month Club.
But then at least you're getting a product for that.
Okay. There's Bacon of the Month Club.
Bacon, but you're getting something in return. How about Whirlpool? You can have an app to connect all your appliances, 99 cents an appliance.
Why?
Exactly why. Profit. Money. That's why.
Maybe we should charge people a monthly fee so that this way they can get all my good jokes.
Kim's Club. Wasn't that called Kim's Club for a while?
No, Kim's Joke Club. We're going to call it.
Just the Joke Club?
Yes.
All right. Well, you don't have a customer here. I'm out. I get to hear them for free and I don't want it.
Ow. That hurts my heart.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And as Andrew likes to say, he loves the show. And make sure that you leave a nice, what do you mean? You're like looking, you're not I don't think that was an authentic smile.
I thought this was another one of your jokes.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, thanks for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, all that other great stuff, and leave a good 5-star review.